I wouldn't have suggested this place if I knew Jeff was going to be here.
I'm not gonna let that bother me at all.
But it does, I can tell.
Well, I have to get over it, Dee. That's all there is to it.
Okay. I like your new attitude.
You know, it's ironic. Jeff was sure I was having an affair with Doug when I was only seeing him every once in a while. And now that I'm not seeing him at all and it's completely over, he's more convinced than ever that he was right all along.
Jeff judges people by the way he acts and thinks. On the other hand, maybe he understood Doug and what he was after better than you did, Annie.
No, I don't think so.
I just wish you could get your mind off Doug. Forget he even exists. But I know from my own experience in St. Louis, it's not that easy. The only thing that really helps is time.
Does it?
Well, that's what I've been told. For myself, I don't really know yet. Not enough time has gone by to really test the theory.
I only wish I knew why Doug had such a sudden change of heart.
I told you why.
I know, but...
The way I see it, Annie, there wasn't any change of heart. Doug never meant to divorce his wife and be free for you.
I can't believe that.
Why? Because he told you how unhappy he was with Marcia? Annie, that was just part of his strategy, to endear himself to you so you feel sorry for him. But all the time, all he wanted...
No, Dee.
Okay. Forget it. If you insist on defending him...
I'm not doing that.
But you are. Just listen to yourself.
I am just trying to make sense of what happened. If Doug was lying to me all along, why didn't he push harder to get me to sleep with him?
Maybe he was just waiting for the right moment.
He understood how I felt, and he appreciated my position. He never made those kind of advances.
What about the time that Jeff walked in on you and found you in Doug's arms?
I told you about that. Nothing happened. I don't think I'll ever know the real reason why Doug decided to stay with Marcia after telling me he was going to pack up and leave.
Annie, can't you see that he was lying to you about everything? He also told you that he went to see Grant about getting a divorce, and I know he didn't. I checked Grant's appointments for both days that Doug claimed he saw him.
All right.
Hi. Remember me? I'm Sheila Winston from the bookstore.
Hi, Sheila. We never really met. Have you met my sister, Annie? I'm Dee Stewart.
Oh, hi. How are you? It's always nice to meet more of Kim's family. Tell me, did Ian like the book?
Yes, he did. He liked it a lot.
I thought he would. I thought he would.
It was a great choice. I really appreciated your help.
Oh, you're very welcome anytime. Now, what are you going to have tonight?
Well, I'm just going to have a plain burger and a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Cheeseburger for me and coffee, too.
Okay, terrific.
Thanks.
She helped you with the book?
She works at the Wade bookstore. That's how she knows Kim.
And she works here, too? That must be kind of rough.
I guess so. You know, she's also a friend of Tom Hughes. How good a friend she is, I don't know.
Well, I know that things are going pretty well between Tom and Barbara right now. As a matter of fact, she's over at Lisa's house right now cooking dinner for him.
I like the sound of that. That's what you and I should be doing. Cooking dinner for an eligible guy instead of going to the movies together and then going...
What's wrong?
Annie, don't turn around now, but Doug Campbell just walked in here.
Aren't you going to answer that?
I'll learn to ignore that. Something I've never been able to do.
Suppose it's business.
I suppose it is.
Hey, I've got this terrible picture of a client horribly in trouble, or your dad, or Grant, or your grandmother, or your grandfather, your Uncle Don. Or...
Oh, boy. Someday I'm going to learn to ignore it, but obviously it's not going to be tonight. Hello?
Oh, Tom, hello.
Mom?
Tom, I have to talk to you.
Well, something's wrong, isn't it? Mom, what is it?
Look, Tom, I'm out here at the inn and I'm all by myself. Something terrible has happened.
What?
I just got a phone call from the state police. And they told me that, Derek Bickford was killed earlier tonight.
When did you hear this, Mom?
I just spoke to the state police.
You said you're there all by yourself?
Yes. Yes, I am. And I had to talk to you, Tom. I didn't know who else to call.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you called me, but where's Bennett?
Well, he isn't here. He and Dr. Bickford left a little while ago. They went out looking for Hester.
What's the matter with her?
Oh, I don't know. Dr. Bickford was kind of worried about her. He, said that, well, you see, tonight, Bennett gave her the night off, and she was supposed to be at her house, and Dr. Bickford dropped by, and she wasn't there.
Well, is that enough reason to be worried about her?
No. You see, she had seen Dr. Bickford earlier, and she was in a terrible state of mind, and so Dr. Bickford gave her a tranquilizer, and now he's afraid that maybe she took an overdose or something. I don't know. Tom, so many things have been going on around here, and I mean, with Hester behaving the way she has, and now maybe on the verge of a nervous breakdown, maybe she's having one. Who knows? But right now, that Derek was killed tonight. I feel so responsible about that.
Mom, hold it. Just hold it. Of course you're upset. Anybody would be under those circumstances. Now, you just got to get a hold of yourself.
I know. I'm trying. I'm trying.
Okay, good. Now, could you tell me a little bit more? How did Derek die?
The state policeman told me that it was an accident on a highway. I don't believe that, Tom. Not for a minute.
Why not?
Well, because Derek... Well, I spoke with him. He should have been...
Well, Mom, what's the matter?
I can't talk anymore right now. Someone's at the door.
Well, but don't hang up.
I have to see who's there, Tom.
All right, fine. Go and do that, and make sure you see who it is before you open the door. But I want you to come back to the phone and tell me you're all right. Now, make sure you know who it is before you open the door.
Yeah, okay. All right, hold on a minute.
Tom, something is terribly wrong. What has happened?
I really don't know. Mom's practically hysterical.
But I heard you say that somebody had died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a man she met up there. I met him, too, when I was visiting her. He's a publisher from New York. The state police told her that it was an accident, but she doesn't seem to believe it.
Well, why not?
She didn't get to tell me. There's someone at the door there now. All I know is that she's in that old inn alone, and she may be in danger.
Yeah, I've never seen you so worried.
Well, I had a bad feeling when I left her there. I can't piece anything together she's saying. All I know is that she's frightened to death.
Tom?
Yeah?
I'm okay.
Who is it?
The state patrolman, he's with me now.
Oh, fine. Mom, I want you to call me back later and let me know all the details.
I'll call you if I can, Tom.
I want you to be sure to call me. I'll come up there to Norwich if you need me.
All right. Thank you so much, Tom.
Bye.
If you and Annie say so, I take your word for it.
I hope so, because it's very important to me.
Why?
Why? Because I think Annie is a wonderful person. I wouldn't want anything to happen to her reputation because of my relationship with her.
All right. Now, can we drop it?
Yes. Okay, now what is it you want to talk to me about?
Well, you know, there are some problems in scheduling and surgery, and I think I know how to solve them.
What is it with Doug? At least he could have done his leave when he saw us sitting here.
Maybe he had some business to discuss with Jeff. After all, Jeff is temporary chief of surgery.
Well, whatever it is, all I can say is that if Doug really cared about your feelings, he wouldn't have stayed here.
Dee, can we please change the subject?
Fine with me.
Good. I don't want to have to sit here and be uncomfortable and self-conscious because Doug is in the same place.
Sergeant,
Could you tell me again, please, just how did this accident happen?
Well, I already did, ma'am.
I know you did, but I'm afraid that when you did, I was so upset I wasn't able to listen.
Well, Mrs. Coleman, it was an unfortunate accident. I'm sure it wouldn't have happened except for the weather.
I don't believe that. I think that it...
What's wrong? I saw the police car out in the driveway.
What is she doing here?
I'll explain that later. What's the...
Sergeant Haley, State Police.
Bennett Hadley, is there something wrong?
I'm afraid so.
Oh, yes, a terrible thing has happened.
I've been waiting to talk to you, Dr. Bickford.
Is it an emergency of some kind?
I'm afraid I have some very bad news for you, sir.
What is it?
Well, I hate to be the one to tell you this, sir, but your nephew, Derek Bickford, was killed earlier tonight.
Derek? How?
It was an accident, sir.
What kind of an accident? When did it happen?
Earlier tonight, sir. It was on a deserted road near here. I'm afraid that your nephew is a victim of a hit-and-run driver.
I'm sorry, Barbara. I don't want to upset you with all this talk. After all, until I hear from Mom, I really don't know what's going on up there. But I am glad to have you here with me tonight. Now, I've never felt closer to you than I do tonight. I've never voiced some of these things, not even to myself.
Esther? Esther?
How did I get here? I don't remember. I wasn't...
Easy now. Easy. Bennett and I brought you here. You were ill.
Yes. Yes, I must have been. I remember feeling strange when I went upstairs.
We found you in the upper hallway of your home.
I don't remember that.
It's all right. We brought you here so we could take care of you.
Well, I feel much better already. Just being back at the Willows.
Good. Now we're all going to see that you get well.
I remember something else now. When I first came in here, he had some awful news about your nephew.
I'll tell you about that later. Right now, I want to get you upstairs into bed.
No!
You need your rest.
I couldn't rest. I have to know. I want to know.
All right. Please tell us the details, Sergeant.
Well, sir, are you Mr. Bickford's closest living relative?
Yes. Both Derek's parents are dead.
Well, sir, we got a call about an hour ago at the state police headquarters from an unidentified caller stating that he'd seen a man down on a deserted road near here. He thought the man had been hit, so we drove right out to the spot.
Was Derek dead when you arrived?
Yes, sir, I'm afraid so.
Please go on, Sergeant.
Well, sir, his body was lying alongside the car on the curve of a one-lane dirt road. Now, it had been snowing lightly, and the driver of the car that hit him probably lost control and, well, just kept on going. Now, we've turned over all our information to Sheriff Hargrave, and he'll be working with us on this case until it's officially closed.
I'll probably be hearing from him. I'll have to start making arrangements. It's quite a shock. I can't believe it.
Sergeant,
Yes, ma'am.
I know that Derek Bickford was here earlier this evening.
Well, how do you know that, ma'am?
Well, I know because when Bennett and I came back from dinner, we saw footsteps that were on the path outside in the snow going back and forth.
How do you know they were Derek's?
Well, because Bennett said that they must be yours and Derek's, that you just probably dropped by and didn't know that we weren't here.
But I wasn't here.
That was an assumption on
But
my...
it's a good assumption, darling. Don't you understand? We felt, well, who else would drop by and see us?
We have no proof to back this up.
But we don't need proof. I happen to know that a set of those footprints did belong to Derek.
Lisa, I know how hard this has been for you, but it's even harder for Dr. Bickford. Please, try to get hold of yourself.
I don't know what to do.
Well, assumption or not, the snow has changed to rain by now, and those footprints are washed away by now.
Besides, we've been walking up and down that path since then.
Actually, the footprints wouldn't tell us anything anyway.
They would tell us if they were Derek's, wouldn't they?
Whether Derek was here or not doesn't make any difference. The fact remains that he was killed.
Makes a lot of difference to me. A lot of difference. He was my friend.
Lisa, I know this has been very hard for you. Henry, I haven't had a chance to say anything to you.
Bennett, there'll be lots of time for that later on. Right now, I want to see that Hester gets upstairs and gets some rest.
All right. But I don't think I'll be able to sleep.
I'm going to give you something to help. Sergeant, I want to drive into town later and speak to Sheriff Hargraves. Where is Derek's body now?
Well, sir, it's at the coroner's, but of course he hasn't had a chance to make out a report yet.
No, of course not, of course not.
Well, I guess I'll be going.
I'll show you to the door, Sergeant.
I'm awfully sorry, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Derek, you would still be alive if I hadn't insisted you come out here. You'd still be alive if I had begged you to come and look.
Liz, what were you saying just now?
Now, that's all I know, Grant. Sorry I don't have any more information, but I'm expecting Mom to get back to me any minute. That was a shock to all of us. I just hope you find out something at the Moorcliff Sanitarium tomorrow that might explain all the weird things going on at the Willows. Well, you might find out that Hester was a patient there when neither Dr. Bickford or Bennett knew anything about it. Will you call me right after you've talked to Dr. Karanovsky? Fine. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. I just hope Mom wasn't trying to call while I was on the phone with Grant.
Well, if she did, she'll call again. You know, I don't know. With all the things I keep hearing about the Willows and the people up there, the strange things, I can't imagine why Lisa would want to stay there.
Very simple reason. Love.
She's that much in love with Bennett Hadley?
First, I thought she was just flattered by all the interest he was paying her, and she wanted to get back at Grant, but I was wrong. She's very serious about Bennett, and so in love, she'd never think of leaving him.
I guess love's a very strong force.
Oh, that's her.
Ooh.
Hello, Mom. I've been waiting to hear.
This isn't your mother, Tom.
Who is this?
Sheila.
Oh, Sheila. Hello. Sheila, I don't want to be rude, but I'm waiting for an urgent call from my mother, and I don't want to tie up the line.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. I hope it's nothing serious with your mother.
Well, no, she's all right, but there's an emergency up there, and I'm very anxious to talk to her.
Oh, well, okay, I'll make it brief. It's just that, you see, I got off work early tonight, and I was wondering if maybe you might want to stop by for a nightcap.
No, I couldn't. Not tonight, Sheila.
Oh, I see. Well, gee, you sound awfully worried.
Yeah, I am.
I'd be happy to come over and...
Well, Sheila, it just won't work out tonight. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Look, I'll call you tomorrow, but I gotta get off the phone now.
Okay. Goodbye, Tom.
Hi.
Hi.
Something wrong?
No.
I think there is.
Well, maybe you're right, and maybe I should say something about it. Otherwise, there's going to be this funny kind of embarrassment every time Sheila calls or her name is brought up.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
That's just the point, Tom. You shouldn't be sorry. There's no reason on earth why Sheila shouldn't call, even if I'm here. She didn't know I was here, did she?
No.
I just want you to know where I stand. I like you very much, Tom. I like you more every time we're together.
No, I feel the same way.
Please let me finish.
Okay.
We have made no commitments to each other. So you can see anyone you want to, and so can I. We have to be ready for each other. And if and when the time comes when we want to make that commitment...
Can I say something now?
Not yet. Until that time comes, I don't want to ruin what we have by any petty jealousies or any feelings of discomfort cropping up like they just did a moment ago.
Oh, you know, you are an incredible woman. And sensible, too.
Yeah, maybe too sensible. But that's the way I feel.
Barbara, I want that time to come for us.
So do I. But we both know that wanting it and feeling that it's right doesn't necessarily make it so.
How do you feel now?
Oh, just numb.
What about the accident? From what you told me, it seems it was a hit-and-run case.
Well, Tom, I'm really not so sure about that.
Why? What do you think it is?
I don't know.
Well, at any rate, I'm glad Kim's going to be up there tomorrow to be with you.
Well, now, I have given second thoughts about that, too. I'm beginning to think I'm going to ask Kim to just postpone her trip.
Well, Mom, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, she's all set to go.
Yeah, but
Mom, I think it's more important than ever that you have a friend up there with you.
Well, honey, I'll tell you what. I'll think about it, and I'll call her tomorrow.
Just please don't try to talk her out of making the trip. I'll feel much better knowing she's there.
All right, I'll let you know what I'm going to do. Look, Bennett has come in the room, and I do need to talk with him.
All right. Just remember to call me if anything comes up, or if you just want to talk.
Of course I will. Thank you, darling. Good night.
I couldn't help but overhear what you were saying about Kim. Tom thinks she should come up as planned, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I agree with him.
I'm not so sure this is the right time for a visit.
Oh, I think it is. I know how fond you were of Derek, and this has been a terrible blow for you. I think having a good friend here could help.
Well, even so, Bennett, there's something I've got to talk to you about. And I've been thinking about it ever since I heard about Derek. I just couldn't, not with all the people around.
What is it?
Well,
Look, I don't want you to be angry with me, though you may hate me for this.
Yes, I would hate you no matter what it is.
Well, you might when I get through telling what I have to say, but I can't keep it to myself any longer. Tomorrow, I know I'm probably going to have to go to the Sheriff Hargrave, and tell him that I asked Derek to come out here tonight, that I asked him to do something for me while you and I were having dinner together.
What?
I wanted him to search Hester's room, especially her closet. The closet is locked. I was looking for proof. I've got to have proof of why this woman is trying to drive me out of this house, and I know that she is. And I thought, well, if Derek could just find the portrait of Ruth, the one that she slashed up, then that would be all the proof I would need, and then you would believe me, and you would get rid of Hester once and for all. Now, if I've betrayed your trust, I'm awfully sorry, but Bennett, there's nothing else I could do. I cannot continue to live in this house. I'm becoming so frightened of that woman. Bennett, please say something to me.
Just wish you'd come to me instead of a stranger.
Oh. I knew you'd never agree to that.
You never even asked me.
You're not angry.
No, I understand. And tomorrow we'll go and search that closet. If it'll make you feel any better, I'll insist that Hester open it for us.
Really, that's not what's bothering me. It's that tomorrow I have to go to the police, and I have to tell them that I did ask Derek to come up here tonight and that he was here.
What for?
Well, because you know he was here. You saw the footprints.
They could have been anyone's.
No.
How was Derek going to get into the inn? He didn't have a key.
Oh, well, I arranged all of that. You see, I had a key to the front door and a key to Hester's closet. I had it under the mat out there. And Derek was to come by and pick up the keys, and then he was going to keep them and give them to me tomorrow. And that...
What's wrong?
I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. You see, now I can prove that he was here. Because I'll go out there, I'll look under the mat, and the keys will be gone. Come on.